Okay, imagine this. You just faced a big moment, maybe a huge presentation at work, a tough personal decision, or even just trying to get a new hobby going. Now, think about how it went. Did you feel like you were firmly in the driver's seat, like totally in control? Or did it feel more like, you were just a passenger along for the ride and things were decided by stuff outside of you? That feeling, that perception of where the power lies.
Well, that's absolutely central to today's deep dive. We're going to unpack two really powerful concepts from psychology: locus of control and psychological adjustment. And these aren't just academic terms, they're like lenses, right? Lenses for understanding how we see our own influence on life and, crucially, how well we cope with it all. Our mission today for you is to figure out what these ideas really mean. We'll look at a fascinating study linking them to high school students and ultimately discover what it all means for your own well being, your resilience, and, yeah, your success.
It is a powerful connection.
Yeah.
And we've got some great information today, mostly from this really in-depth research paper looking specifically at students. What's so interesting here is it gives us real data, actual insights into how these big ideas play out day to day. The research really highlights the impact of where we think control comes from. It's not just a thought. It actively shapes how we deal with things.
Okay, let's start with that foundation. Locus of control. Such a core idea. Basically, it's about where you deep down believe the responsibility lies for what happens in your life. Is it inside you or outside?
That's exactly it. A psychologist, Julian Rotter, he really got this going back in the 60s. He saw it as a key part of personality. Think of it like a scale, measuring our general expectation about where rewards and punishments come from.
Mm-hmm.
So on one end, you have an internal locus of control. People with this genuinely believe their successes, their failures. They come from their own efforts, abilities, choices. They own it. And here's what's really key for you: this belief. It's not just positive thinking. Research consistently shows internals tend to be healthier, view themselves more positively. And importantly, they keep going when things get tough. They persist. Why? Because they actually believe their actions make a difference. They see themselves as independent, capable. They often manage time well. They look for information. It all connects.
So it's not just feeling in control. They actually act in ways that often lead to better results. That's huge.
Precisely. Then on the other end, you've got external locus of control. These individuals tend to think outcomes are down to outside factors: luck, chance, fate, powerful people, things they can't really influence. And our source material notes this view is often linked with, well, less effort, more anxiety, and more trouble adjusting. Because, if you don't think your efforts will change anything, why try quite so hard, right? It can lead to feeling helpless, and sometimes, sadly, it's linked to things like depression.
That difference is really clear. Like, think about a test score. An internal person might think, okay, I needed to study more, or I should focus differently next time. Whereas an external person might jump to, that teacher hates me, or the questions were impossible, just bad luck. It completely changes their approach next time, doesn't it?
Oh, completely. Night and day. And it's not just a feeling. Researchers actually measure this using proper scales, tools that assess where people think reinforcement comes from. It's measurable.
Okay, so we've got this idea of where we see control. Now, how does that link up with psychological adjustment? That term might sound a bit academic, but it's really about something super practical. How well we cope with life's demands, how we find stability and peace.
Yeah, you nailed it. Psychological adjustment is really a dynamic process. It's not static, where we're always kind of changing our behavior to find harmony. Harmony within ourselves and harmony with our environment, like a ship, maybe, adjusting its sails to stay on course despite the wind. It's about balancing your needs, your actions, and your surroundings. And that leads to feeling satisfied, content, having peace of mind.
That ship analogy works well. So it's not just feeling good, it's having the tools to navigate life effectively. Why is adjustment so critical? What does the research say about its impact?
Oh, it's considered absolutely central to psychology. It's seen as the bedrock of mental health. Good adjustment leads to happiness, feeling competent, coping well with crises, developing a healthy, whole personality. And for students, or anyone really, it's a big predictor of success. We see it linked to better achievement, more motivation, better relationships. It's huge.
So it's holistic then. It touches everything.
Exactly. The research calls it holistic, affecting all parts of life. It's also developmental. We adapt through life stages. It's functional, helps restore balance. And like we said, dynamic, always ongoing.
So what does good adjustment actually look like? If someone is well adjusted, what are we seeing?
Well, the study we're looking at used a scale that broke it down into key dimensions, things we can actually spot. First, self-reliance, depending on yourself. Then self-worth, feeling valuable, capable. A sense of freedom, feeling like you can make choices. Sense of belonging, feeling connected, accepted. Freedom from isolation, not withdrawing or feeling chronically lonely. And finally, the absence of neurotic symptoms, so less overwhelming anxiety, distress, stuff that gets in the way. These are like the building blocks.
Okay, so we have locus of control where we see power, and psychological adjustment, how we cope and thrive. Now, the exciting bit, putting them together. What did the study tell us about that connection?
Right, so this specific research really wanted